Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 Anything negative, cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase it? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Hope you have all had a great weekend. I know for some of my viewers it's still Sunday, but here in Sydney, Australia, it is Monday. Market opens in 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So what I wanted to do is just jump on here a bit earlier today, go through the trades we were in from last week, kind of just journal them, do a bit of detailed analysis, ask the questions like why did I enter, the reasoning behind it, find anything wrong with the trades, and also try and find some consistencies with the trades into why I was taking them. Because yes, we got all the trades we took were A2 signals, so the ASFX A2 signal, but if I was to take every single signal, does that make sense? Is there some type of correlation I can find that give more probabilities to the signals? You guys know I talk a lot about probabilities using the exponential moving averages, key levels of support and resistance. Are we in a trend? Looking at the TDI indicator, is the L50 in the buy zone or the sell zone? Looking at low time frames to find key levels there as well, where price is reacting to certain levels. So this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to look at the weekly and the monthly chart as well to get some more bigger picture analysis into stronger key levels. All right, so the first thing I want to kind of talk about with you guys today is on GBPNZD. So just one second, I was going to test my audio because I don't know if I have music playing. All right, we're good. So there is kind of music playing in the background, which is all good, but it's not very loud. But you know what? That is completely fine. So yeah, let's get into it. So on the daily on GN, I've gone through all the pairs that I'm looking at trading, so all the majors and minors. And GBPNZD is the only one that's presented a signal, but I'm not a big fan of this type of price action that we're seeing here. All right, so price is just coiling down, just making a very, very choppy mess. But overall, I am bearish. All right. So to be fair, it's consolidation. Price is literally moving left to right. It has been doing this for a very long time. So if I show you this chart right here and I zoom out, all the way back from, let's just call it 2019, price has been trending. Like, there are some identifiable trends in this overall price action, but the overall move is left to right, and it's just being kind of caught in this range. All right. So this price action that we're seeing here currently, most recent price action, the reasons why I'm looking at GBPNZD to take a short position is mostly because of where we're at currently with price, and also we have had an A2 signal. So obviously I do not enter trades if there is no signal that presents, because I know this signal is profitable. Not in every pair yet, I'm still doing my testing, but the concept of the A2 signal is it's a price, where price has come to, and where sellers or buyers, depending which way you're looking at trading it, may step in. And also using all the other confluences, such as the EMAs, the indicators, price action, support, resistance, key levels, we can then make a high probability guess, if you will, where price may go next. And in this case, I'm predicting price may come lower. Now, looking at this overall channel to the downside, you can see on the daily chart, let me just hide, let me just hide this for you guys, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. So as price has kind of had this downshift, now the downshift I talk about is the yellow line, which is the 8, and the red, which is the 21. They're the 21 and 8 exponential moving averages. Back on the 2nd, so November 2nd, 2022, they shifted down, all right, which is a strong short-term trend on the daily that's weighed more significant into my analysis. And then as that shifted down, we also broke below the 50 exponential moving average, and we've used that EMAs, essentially dynamic support and resistance. All right, so they're not fixed price levels. As price broke below that, we then came back up, EMAs in a downshift, the 8 and 21 in a downshift, price testing that 50 EMA as resistance, so price cannot break above it. Now every time we've come to that 50 EMA, we've gotten very nice pin bars. So that's just candlestick analysis, where this is a daily time frame. So this 24 hours worth of trading activity, buyers tried to push price up and sellers stepped in, rejecting that 21 EMA, and we push price back down, making lower lows. All right, so price is indeed making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. All right. So with that analysis and that concept in mind, we can then drop down to a smaller time frame. So jumping over to the 4-hour time frame, and I'm going to bring back on my parallel channel here, and you can see another key level of confluence we have. So basically you are trading in this downtrend, and every time price comes to the bottom of that trend, buyers step in and push it up. Every time price gets to the top of the channel, sellers step in and push it back down. And this is just a recurring pattern that's been happening. So now on the daily time frame, we've got our signal. Where is price at? It's at the top of that channel. So logically, it makes sense to sell it, right? At this level. On the daily, we also had the A2 signal present. We also have bearish confluence. Looking at the TDI indicator here, which is a trader's dynamic index. L50, which is market sentiment, so market bias, is also below the 50 value. That is telling us that it's just simply bearish. That's all you need to know about that L50, right? It's dipped into the sell zone. You got trend line, RSI, all underneath the 50 value. So it's a seller's market, essentially. When you're looking back on the 4-hour, like I was saying, we are testing that top horizontal trend line now. And to me, this looks like a great area to sell it. Now, trading is all about probabilities. This is something I just want to let you guys know. This thing could just blow right out and go bullish. Some type of news event, technicals, liquidity, whatever you want to call it, could happen and just completely changed dynamics of price here. As traders, we never know what's going to happen, and that's why we must stack confluence and work off probabilities. All right, so 50-50. So yeah, when market opens, we will definitely be looking at taking, depending on what happened over the weekend, if price gaps or not. All right, so that's GBPNZD. Let's go over the trades that we did take last week. And then also let's look at some higher time frames as well. All right, so EURUSD. This is a great trade we have taken. All right, I'm going to bring up my MetaTrader terminal here, and you can see the trades that we are still in: GU, AUDJPY, USOIL, which we re-entered after getting tapped out through the 21 EMA as we were trailing our stop loss. NZDJPY, so the Aussie and NZD JPY quote pairs. They have done exponentially well, and we'll go over those in a minute. EURUSD, I've taken multiple partial profits off this, as well as trailing my stop loss as well, and then EURNZD. So everything's in profit except oil and our GU trade, which I'm gonna talk a little bit about today as well. So EURUSD, nothing to be done here. I'm just trailing my stop at the daily 21. Now, one of the things I wanted to do in today's live stream, and the reason I jumped on a bit earlier, is to kind of just journal my thoughts for my own personal growth and development, but also to help you guys understand my process and also help me understand my process and new routine going forward. Now, of course, we got the signal. All right, the last A2 signal that presented on EURUSD on the daily was this back from last year, so November 1st, 2022. All right, so 63 days until another signal presented. All right. So with that being said, why did I take this signal? Just because it presented, and also I didn't take it as soon as it presented. I did wait for the market to kind of test a little bit deeper into this level, which it did, and then I took my entry on this market open on the daily. So the main thing I was looking at on EURUSD was cool. Yeah, the signal kind of cued me to get in the market. And then I did my analysis to make sure this is a good buying opportunity, and the probabilities are stacked on my side. So the way I did that was, the first thing I look at, and this is one of the best things, I've said this many times before in a lot of my other YouTube videos, is simply looking at the indicators. All right, so one thing that Austin has taught me is indicators are there to kind of guide us and help us. We don't primarily always take trades just based on indicators. All right, there's a bit of discretion. There's 110% price action, worked into our analysis here. So we just use indicators as a way of seeing things quickly and understanding what price is doing, since indicators are gathered by price action, price data. Sorry for going a little bit of a tangent there, but anyway, we had the 8 and 21 upshift. All right, so that is instantly telling me that price is in a strong bullish trend, strong short-term bullish trend. All right, but we also had price break above the 50 EMA here. We then came back down. We almost tested the bottom levels of this previous lower high, but we didn't make a lower low, and we punched right back above the 50 EMA, and then we created a new high. So that is already telling me buyers are starting to step in. We may see a change of dynamics here. All right, so as price started pulling up higher here, making higher highs, higher lows, we had that 821 upshift. Price just simply made higher highs, higher lows. Okay, now as price pulled back in here, we never violated this higher low. We never violated this higher low over here. And another key thing I was looking at that gave me more confluence was looking at the TDI indicator on the Traders Dynamic Index. And we had price, the L50, which is market sentiment, go above the 50 value, giving me a bullish bias, as well as all other confluences and parameters stacking in that favor. Price then pulls back into this kind of zone looking left. Okay, we then get that A2 signal, and then we also EMAs are bullish, and that is the reason I entered on the daily time frame. Okay, so with all those things stacked in my favor, this was a clear buying opportunity for me. We had a great stop loss position above the daily 50 and also above this higher low. All right, so as price is making high highs, it's making higher lows. So that was a great buy place to put your stop loss below that level, because if that level got stopped out, you don't want to be in this trade. All right, you want to take your loss and move on. So yeah, and look what market has done. It's pushed higher. Of course, CPI news and other geopolitical events has helped us in this trade move it towards our favor. And then jumping to the weekly chart over here, you can see we are also we actually closed. So this is 1 week worth of trading activity in each of these candles. We broke above this level of resistance where price was making lower lows, and we also have prices now above the 50 on the weekly. 8 and 21 have shifted up. So I'm just going to hold this trade, trail my stop loss just below the daily 21, and see how it goes. If price comes back, stops me out, then so be it. I'll look for a new entry. The next 2 trades I want to talk about is the JPY quote pair. So Aussie JPY and New Zealand JPY. Both of these trades were perfect. NZDJPY was probably one of the better ones. Now, the reasoning behind all of this was simply, once again, the same concept using the same parameters. As I saw the signal present right here on the daily, I'm like, all right, price is trading at a key level. It's retesting the 21 EMA, which is dynamic support and resistance. Now let's stack other confluences to see if we should get involved and if this is going to be a high probability selling opportunity if we were to pull the trigger on this trade. All right, so first thing I do is simply, once again, look at the EMAs. So back here on the 20th of December, 2022, you can see this massive bearish candle breaking previous level of support here. We also get that 8 and 21 downshift, okay? Price then comes back up. We test this level looking left. That was once resistance. Now it's using that level as support. So as resistance, sorry. The resistance level here, support level here, sorry, support broken. Now we're testing that support as resistance. Coming back to price action. Price made a lower low, pulling back, testing that support level as resistance. Price makes a new lower low. So naturally, as price pulls back up, tests that 21 EMA level, right? I am looking for a shorting opportunity, not because of where price is testing, but because we got that A2 signal. All right. We also had the TDI indicator. So we had the L50 dropping below that 50 value, giving me, just more bearish confluence signals. So that is why I entered this trade. It's at a key level of support. It has a 1, 2, 3, so a 3-point move, which confirms my bearish trend. The EMAs are stacked in my favor, so we have a strong short-term trend, and everything else was lining up in this position. If we go to the weekly chart here as well, you can see that overall price is just making higher highs. All right, so weekly, I would say this is very much bullish. The reason I say that is because simply price is going from the bottom left of your chart and it's making its way to the bottom top right. That is the most simplest way to look for a trend, a bullish trend in this case. If you wanted to get technical with it and start drawing trend lines, you could line up, you could simply just line up the lows and grab a point of contact here and then see how price kind of reacts. So if I was looking for take profit levels, you can use horizontal levels of support and resistance. That's exactly like how I do it. In this case, I would definitely use a horizontal level of resistance, being this level in here. Okay, and that's pretty much where I have it. So my stop loss is just kind of, my take profit is kind of below these lows. And if you can look on the daily chart now, let me get rid of the TDI indicator. You can see, excuse me, you can see that trend line we drew on the weekly. We can even use it on the daily like this. So we can grab that, the lowest low here. Oh my goodness. All right, we can grab that next point of contact in here. You can see how price kind of tests that trend line, right? Also that horizontal level of support down here. We have then since tested it again. Let me get rid of this so you guys can see it a little bit clearer. Zooming into recent price action. We had this move down. We tested that daily trend line, came up, tested a minor level of structure in here, broke through it, and now we're kind of potentially going to use that trend line as support, resistance, sorry, to make the next move down. So once again, I'm just going to trail my stop at the 21 EMA on the daily and see how things play out. And the same concept with AUDJPY. So looking at this chart, it's very similar to NZDJPY. We had a strong level of support here. We had price test these levels once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then bam, price sellers broke right through that level of support. We then came back up and we tested it as resistance, testing that 50 EMA, because once again, we're using those indicators as confluence and they tell us a little bit more about the story of what's happening with price. As we had that downshift all the way back in November 9th, 2022, price has just kind of held the 50 EMA, and look at all the sell signals we got on the A2. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 signals, and we had 2 more recently. So any of these signals you could have taken and been in profit. Which is really cool. Obviously, you had a bit of resistance, a bit of support, sorry, you had to fight through, but once price sellers did break through that, you can then kind of, find yourself another entry as price does retest. Looking at the TDI indicator, same thing, market sentiment is in the sell zone. So that's just more bearish confluences you can tell yourself. So all we're doing is just stacking these parameters and finding high probability trades when we get that signal that presents. Okay. And same concept. So as I kind of journal my thoughts and talk to myself and talk to you guys about why I'm entering these trades and the reasoning behind them, I'm finding key little patterns that are basically giving these trades higher probabilities. Okay. So another trade before we move on to GU, because you guys will get a lot of value out of what I'm going to talk about in GU when comparing all these other trades that I'm talking about now. How you going, Richard? So are we trading live? Yes, I'll be live pretty much all week again, guys. So Monday to Friday. So definitely. Same time, I'll probably be 8:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, I'll be definitely trading live all week, guys. USD CHF. We got this was a crazy trade. We took the signal again. So we got stopped out as we took this entry last week. Price made its way down. I think we managed to take profit at these structure highs about 1R. I secured about 20% profit. I was trailing my stop loss just above that 21 EMA on the daily. And we got stopped out as this bullish bar came up over here and stopped us out. What happened is I took the trade again. Okay. I took the trade as we got another A2 signal on this bullish candle here. And I locked my stop on this daily candle, but what happened is price came up and stopped us out at the 21. All right, because I had my stop loss locked trailing that 21, because I thought price may reverse with USD CPI news that came out last week. So I just wanted to lock my stop because I had too much risk correlated between a few USD pairs. So that's kind of just, I've got that marked up. I'll flag that orange and we'll just keep an eye and see how this one plays out. But I'm no longer in USD CHF. I go over to my MetaTrader, account history, you'll see, yeah, there it is. So USD CHF right there. We're selling it and we got stopped out for a 0.45 cent gain. Yay. Big money. And then moving on to US oil, I'll leave GU to last. So same concept with US oil. The way I'm looking at these trades. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all of this analysis. Most of it anyway. I'll get rid of the zones. I'll get rid of this and this, and I'll keep my things over there. So when I was looking at oil on the daily, we had two signals. Okay, so the first signal we took was back from last year. All right, so we took this on the 21st of December 2022. I suffered a little bit of drawdown, but the reason I took the signal, guys, is the same reason I've taken all the other trades. Okay, we had, the first thing I was looking at was this exponential moving average. We had that 8 and 21 downtrend over here. So the 8 crossed below the 21. That was back on November 15th, 2022. What about gold? Yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about gold. Gold's a very, very interesting one, especially when it kind of retested a very significant level. It kind of just blew right through it. So definitely some type of fundamentals behind gold that's kind of increasing its value. But we'll check that out. We'll look at that after this oil analysis. So yeah, with oil, we had that 8 and 21 back on the 15th of November. Price started making these lower lows and lower highs. So it actually started making this bearish trend from back here, where we made it a lower low, lower high, lower low. We then broke above that lower high, breaking back above the 50 EMA. But what happened is price could not break above, making a new higher high. So we had a double top, which means this is a strong level where sellers stepped in. We then made a new lower low, breaking this minor level of structure and this major lower low level of structure here. And then price ended up moving back up, creating a lower high. This isn't classified as a lower high until we break below this level down here. So I'll mark this up for you guys here. So until this level is broken on the daily with a candle close, not a wick, then we can say, hey, this is our lower high. Okay. Now, the reason I sold this market on US oil was because we were testing on the, if I go to the weekly, might be able to see this a little bit better. 12 hour. All right, there we go. So on the 12 hour, we had this bearish trend line and we started it from the highs up here. Price then came up and tested it and we kind of rejected right off that trend line there. We had this bearish pin bar where this is 12 hours worth of price action. So buyers stepped in, tried to push price up. We retested that bearish trend line and we used that as our second point of reference. And we did saw this massive sell-off. All right. And then what happened is price came back up to that trend line. Same thing. We rejected off it. Now on the 12 hour, what we may see is price is kind of breaking above that trend line now. So we could actually potentially see a breakout, retest of this certain structure level in here before price moves higher. But we could also see a false breakout as well. So depending on what time frame you look at this, and this is why it's so important to be very specific and consistent on the time frames you do your analysis and your trading. If you look at the daily chart and you look at horizontal levels of support and resistance, okay, so same thing over here. As price broke this high over here, so this lower high, broke above the 50 EMA, retested, making potentially a lower high before making a higher high. It didn't follow through. All right, so we had sellers step in and we pushed market lower. If we look at the same analysis here, we haven't actually broken or violated the highs yet. So what I'm looking at here, I'm looking at this level in here, okay, which is testing that 50 EMA, where we have the 50 EMA cross through this zone. We have that trend line, and now we have price testing another level of structure with inside that level of structure. And if I was to bring this box left, you can see we found lots of support here before we had that double top. We then broke that level of support, used it as resistance, created the lower low, tested that level of support now as resistance again, and now we could see a potential move lower, or this whole analysis could just completely reverse and we could see price break above that level, use it as resistance, support, sorry, before we see a rotation and a change of trend. So that's just something I got to keep my eye out. I've got my stop loss way above this level. So yeah, with oil, I'm still bearish on it. But we got to see what happens. Once again, with oil, there's so many fundamental events that can affect and change the price. But once again, it does respect technicals quite well. Let me just read the comments. Rich says, so can you help those of us who want to pass prop firms? And is magic keys important in trading? Yes, you can help us get some. So yeah, with prop firms. So I'm currently obviously trading with Funded Trader Plus. Now, prop firm trading and passing prop firms isn't something I can specifically help you with, because I'm just going to say how it is. They are very hard to pass, and they're hard to pass for a reason. They don't make the rules to pass simple, and they do that on purpose because they do want people to fail them. All right. Because once again, funding challenges is a business, and it's a really, really good business model for the people that run them. If I'm not saying they're bad, because I'm currently doing a funded challenge with my Funded Trader Plus. Now, the reason I've chosen that funded company besides FTMO or my Forex funds is simply because they have no time limit to pass your challenge. When you have a time limit to pass a challenge, it's going to make your life a lot stressful, and trading can be stressful enough. And having the limitations or the guidelines to make an X percentage in X amount of days is physically impossible unless you gamble or you get lucky. And that's how a lot of these companies, a lot of the people passing them actually get them, these accounts. You could easily risk 2-3% on one trade and get lucky on a news event or whatever it is. You catch that trend, you catch that perfect price entry, and you can easily pass a trade within that one parameter. And that's to me, that's not trading. So advice to that question would be, I can't physically help you. I can give you some value and knowledge, but I can't actually kind of help you pass them, because once again, I've gotten close to passing a challenge, but never actually passed one. All right. Because same boat. It's just, psychologically, it's very stressful. Demanding. It's very demanding to try and meet a certain expectation and goal. And yeah, so bit of a tangent there, but that is what it is. And magic keys. Magic keys isn't needed for trading, but it definitely does help. There are a lot of different type of trade management calculators you can use for MT4 and MT5 out there. Magic keys seems to be the most stable one I've used. It unfortunately doesn't work on Mac, so if you are trading on a Mac, it doesn't work. Most people are passing because they take many challenges. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, so magic keys definitely will help you with trading. I mean, it's very easy. It does trade management for you, auto break even, auto take profits. So if you're not at the desk and you got to run away, price hits say 1R, it will automatically take your partial profits for you, automatically lock your stop loss at break even. You don't have to manually work out your position size or anything. So it definitely can help you. I wouldn't say go out and order the actual physical device. I would say go out and just buy it. I think it's like 25 USD or 29 US dollars, and you can get the on screen. So basically it's an app on your computer, looks exactly like this, and you just push the buttons on your computer. That's what I've been using. I just upgraded mine, but I do use the on screen one a lot more. If you are scalping, on the other hand, this thing is a lifesaver. You can enter, exit, manage trade just by tapping buttons. It's really, really good for scalping. Trading on the 15-minute, hour, or anything higher, I wouldn't recommend getting the physical device. Just buy the on-screen one. It does the exact same thing. Most people are passing because they're taking many challenges. This is correct. If you go on FTMO's YouTube channel, same with my Forex funds, and look at the interviews. If you watch the interviews from these successful prop firm traders that have passed the challenges, I think one of the guys did 21 challenges with FTMO before he actually passed. And that's just crazy. That is insane. So 2022 was a very stressful year for me because I'll see if I can pull it up real quickly. So I did I did a challenge, 50K challenge and 100K challenge on my, what was it? Yeah, my Forex funds. And it was, oh my God. It was very stressful because I got so close to passing my first phase. I then risked a little bit too much because I thought I'd pass it, and then I just spiraled out of control from there. Let me see if I can find which one it is. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Was this the one? Yeah, this was the one. Paladin has done 70 challenge, 21 challenges at a coin flip. You have a 25% chance passing 1-to-1. These guys just, yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. 70 challenges. Wow. But this was my Forex funds account. This was the one I did early last. This was the first one. So 2022 had the goal of passing a funded challenge and getting a funded account, right? So I brought the account in January. I didn't want to start trading in January because, you know, everyone was still on holidays through the Christmas break and all of that. So I wanted to wait till Feb to start. And essentially what happened is I did very well. If you can see this chart, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. So this will work. Yeah. So I ended the account at 4.39%, which gave me, I was eligible for a retry. So I ended up getting this account. I actually kept going for a whole, until the end of the year. Because with my Forex funds, if you don't break the drawdown limits and you end the 30 days in profit, you get a free reset. If you end the 30 days above 6%, that will give you an extension, all right? So those rules were very favoring for me since I didn't have to fork out the money to buy a new challenge. So as you can see, I had many winning days, back-to-back winning days. And this is when I was scalping US 30 and I was only trading US 30. And I got all the way up to 7.26%. You need 8% to pass phase one. And look what happened. I was 0.8%, well 0.74% away from passing. And I just took 1.2% loss the next day, followed by a 1.53% loss the following day. Tried to regain the account, and this is where my psychology my emotions just got completely fucked. It was just horrible. This nice kind of equity growth going all the way up to 7.26%, and then completely crushing it. So I was scalping, and you can see where I took 219 trades. I was in and out of positions. This was just a whole lot of fun. And if I maybe journaled my trades and found out what trades I should be in, maybe my edge would have been a little bit tighter. But look at the duration of these trades, guys. 53 seconds, 1 minute for 1% gain. You know, I was taking like trades. I was in trades for less than 10 minutes. It was crazy. I was risking 0.1, 0.2% of the account. But you can also see losing 1% of the account in 3 minutes. And that's kind of the reality of scalping, where you can make a lot of money really quick. So this was 1% on a 50K account. So this was making $500 in less than a minute. You know, another 500 in less than a minute. And then also you had losing 500 in less than a minute. So it was pretty crazy. That overall kind of experience. And this went on for, you can see if I go to my portfolio, these are all the accounts that I had with my Forex funds. I just linked them with my FX book to kind of get some detailed and in-depth statistics of my overall trading. And I just got account after account after account because I never violated the drawdown. I've never blown an account since I started trading back in 2018. So it all comes down to trade management, but also I think most importantly, consistency. And that's what I've started to kind of figure out as I kind of continue on with this journey of trading. But yeah, honestly, I could have passed. I mean, with the challenge right now, I am I've kind of just been playing around with it. The balance is 99,700. This was a 100K account. So it's gone into a bit of drawdown. Current equity is sitting at 99,182. So you can say this is break even. If I closed all my accounts, since this is floating P&L, I could easily turn around and be like, hey, let's just gamble the account. Fuck it. Let's just put 4%. All right. This is a single phase account on my Funded Trader Plus. I only have to get 10%, one phase. I get the account. That is it. As long as I follow the drawdown rules and the risk management rules, I'm good. All good. I'm good to go. If I was to turn around and say, hey, I got $5,000 to waste, whatever. Okay. You brought a bunch of these accounts and you hedged them where you risk 4%. You only have to look for a 2-hour trade. If you're on a lower time frame and you have a tight stop loss, that is very, very possible. I've seen it happen multiple times. You could easily have an account by the end of the month if you did that. So essentially, they're not hard to pass. The hardest part about having a funded account is maintaining the account and preserving the capital, because it's a whole different ball game. Because a lot of traders, when they trade, they're either trading small capital, $500, $1,000, $5,000, or they're trading demo. And as soon as they get a funded account or they pass it out of pure luck or skill, you're actually playing with real money at that point on some of these prop firms. And not only that, if you do well for the month or for the 2 weeks, because some people, some of these prop firms pay you out bi-weekly. Even some are doing weekly payouts now. That money is going straight in your pocket, at least 75% of it anyway. So a lot of traders unfortunately get into this mindset saying, if I can make $5,000 this week, I get to keep 75% of that. And that's actually actual money going into their pocket. So it really is an emotional game with trading. And it's a fun one. Definitely is a fun one. You did well, thank you. Can you teach us trading? Yeah, I can teach you a lot about psychology, 100%. So I'll probably end up doing a YouTube video in the next few weeks about trading psychology, since I feel like I'm at a point where I used to coach a lot of traders. I don't currently coach right now, as I'm just trying to focus on myself a little bit more. But a lot of traders fail based on human psychology, and the main reason is because as humans, we just simply aren't wired. We're not wired for this type of stuff. It takes a lot of discipline, insight, reflection, journaling to really understand where we're making errors and where we're kind of excelling at, to kind of focus on our strengths. But yeah, I'll definitely do something for that. Many do hedge. That's why we see many passes and few withdrawals, even fewer extra allocations. This is true. Yeah, it's it's just the kind of the beauty of it. I mean, it's a double-edged sword with trading with funded accounts. I got nothing personally against them. I think they are the single most best way for wealth acceleration. If you need the money desperately to pay rent next week, I think a funded account is definitely not the way to go. Definitely you need to have a good foundation, a good set of knowledge, and a very switched on mind and emotions. And you got to be like emotionally stable to be able to kind of go through the drawdowns, taking a loss, losing money, holding a trade through drawdowns, and most importantly, following a specific set of rules consistently, because that's the only thing that's going to guarantee you success long term. Because like 1 or 2 trades isn't going to affect, like we took the loss on a Aussie 200 last week. Like that trade, yeah, okay, it's a loss. It is what it is. But this trade, if I look at this in 12 months, it's literally not going to mean anything. As long as I follow correct risk management. If I was to come in here and risk 10% on this account, then in 12 months, I'm probably still trying to dig myself out of that drawdown maybe. But who knows? It is what it is. But yeah, so we got about, 4 minutes before market opens. I'm pretty sure market opens on a Monday at 9 AM here in Sydney. I will just double check that because I'm pretty sure it does. Jump to the 1 hour. So. 7, 8. All right, so I'm just checking in here. 5, 6. Yeah, market opens at 9. All right, cool. So yeah, so trade we're going to be taking on GN depending on slippage and the gap. All right, so we definitely, if price opens up higher, better for us. Price opens up lower, not so much, but we'll still look at maybe potentially taking the trade. Gold, we got about 2 minutes left. I may as well talk about gold. So gold for me, I'm going to jump to the monthly chart. Actually, I'll do it weekly because you can see what I'm looking at better. I was looking at all this price action within here, and this is what you call minor support. All right, so it's still significant, but it's not going to be weighed into all this analysis very well. So just because we tested it here, tested it a few times here, had this massive pin testing that level, you want to see price come back to solid recent levels of support and resistance. So what I mean by recent, if I was to zoom right in here, so we got that high, and if I was to draw this out where we got our low, high, low, high, or low, and you see how we came back up to this level here, and now we've broken above it. That is the level I was looking at on the weekly. So there's a lot of significance weighed into this level. If I was to jump down to the daily, you would see it a little bit clearer, where price kind of traded around this level, a lot of resistance to that level. And then you can see the lower lows, lower highs. And as price started to come higher here to that previous lower high from, we had like a triple bottom down here. Price came up, tested that level, rejected it, tested it, rejected it, and broke through it. So now we're trading above this level. Whatever fundamental bias gold is going through right now, and whatever technicals are lining up with that, on the daily, if I just focus on the most recent price action, which is what you want to do, you can see price is making higher highs, higher lows. All right. So now with that concept in mind, price is definitely bullish on gold. Looking back at this significant level of resistance where price tested it multiple times on the daily, now broken, I would wait for a pullback. If price wants to extend higher, wait for a pullback to this level or to the 21 EMA. If we get an A2 signal, which will cue me into the market to take the buy order, that's what I'll be looking at doing. So gold's an interesting one. Definitely bullish on gold. I wouldn't try and fight this trend at all. You might find some good counter trend moves, but ultimately, like, I can imagine a lot of people trying to sell it here and they just would have gotten smashed. I think on the 15-minute chart when CPI came out, that is where we saw that massive break in this level. So this is the daily, that level I was talking about, that support level, where you could have found a nice counter trend intraday trade. So a day trade here, price broke above that resistance level and spiked all the way down before coming back up. And CPI news has just kind of carried that fundamental bias with the technicals here, which is really cool. All right, so Diego, hello Jerome, do you do live trading during live? No, so I only do, I used to, but this just fits my lifestyle better in terms of just trading the daily time frame and watching the daily candle close and then open and then making any trading decisions based on that 24 hours worth of trading. But yeah, I don't do London or New York. Maybe in the future, I'll jump on to kind of, for like, I'll definitely be day trading. So mostly the 15-minute, 5, or potentially maybe the 1 minute time frame. Since that's how I used to trade pretty much all of last year. But as of now, I'm just strictly trading the daily time frame. All right, so coming over to GBPNZD, nothing so far. So market, it's just after 9 o'clock. There we go. So market has opened. We've put in this new daily candle, just started. I'm going to jump over to my broker. I've got my stop loss already set and price is going crazy. So we got GBPNZD. Let me just make sure I've got that on my chart. GN, there it is. Get my magic keys. So we're gonna hit the open calculator button. 1 second, I gotta get my, yeah. All right, cool. So we did gap down a little bit, which not too bad. It is what it is. And we'll get a position on. My magic keys decides to work. I'm just going to reset my MT4 terminal. This is the thing about having the wireless device as well. Sometimes you have connection issues. As a swing trader, I'm not too phased. As a scalper, I lost a lot of money. That's why I ended up buying the on-screen one. All right, so GN. Is it gonna work? It's not working. Is it working on other pairs? Nope. All right, let's see. Hey, I heard something. There we go. All right, so what I do is I go over to my, over here, you get my stop loss level, which is 1.9385. Back to MetaTrader. Right click, paste in that value, and there's my stop loss, all right? So what we'll do now is we'll just move that down there, and you can see the risk is set at 2% by default. I gotta change that, but I'll put 0.1% on this trade, so that's $100. Open trade. If it wants to work. There we go. All right, so we got a position on GN, guys. Massive spread on GN, I believe. New Zealand pairs always have a stupid amount of spread. Let me just add. Yeah, so it's currently 3 pips. Or, yeah, whatever it is, it's definitely a fair bit. You can see the ask and the bid right here. So if I opened up the trading terminal, let me just connect a paper trading account here. And you can see where the ask and the bid is. So you sell, buy at the ask, and you sell at the bid. But yeah, so we are in this trade, guys, on GBPNZD. I'm going to go through all my other pairs real quickly with you guys, and we'll quickly manage them. So what we'll do is we'll start with oil. Oil's in drawdown, so futures markets don't open to 12 p.m. Australian time. EURUSD. All right, so we're just going to move that stop loss a little bit higher there. All right, we're at a USD CHF, Euro NZD, same thing. We're going to manage this trade by just trailing that stop loss under that daily 21. AUDJPY, we can pull this stop loss and we can pull it just above the 21 there. And we add an Aussie 200. And same thing with NZDJPY. We can bring this stop loss and trail it behind the 21. All right, so that's that trade management done. GN trade and everything else looks pretty good. Screen type. So can you get some type of magic keys to buy? Yeah, so you can get the screen type. So quickly show you. I think I actually do have it. No, I don't have it on this computer. But yeah, if you go to Magic Keys and you go to on-screen version, it's simply exactly the same thing. It's just on your keyboard, and it is now $34.90. It used to be in the 20s, but it's a lot cheaper than buying the actual physical calculator itself. And you can use this for MT4, MT5, and Seed Trader. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on Mac. You can get it to work on Mac, but not as in the sense how you think you would. But yeah, and that's exactly what it looks like. It's just on screen, and you can do everything the same, just like this, but for $35 US. So yeah, so that's pretty much all my trade management done for the day. The only trade we took was GN, so I can flag that as green, letting me know that we are officially in this trade. Once again, guys, this could easily come up and stop me out, but that's just the probabilities of trading. And it is Monday. I hate Monday price action. What else can we go through? I think that's everything, guys. Oh yes, so I left lucky last GU to obviously the end of our session here. So GBPUSD, I was contemplating closing this a few days ago. It's just been trailing in drawdown ever since we took the trade. All right, now the reason I took the trade and the reason I shouldn't have taken the trade. The reason I shouldn't have taken the trade is because this goes against everything all these winning trades have in common. You got the 50 EMA and you're selling it off either or buying it off a strong key level of support or resistance. Okay, looking at GU, the 50 EMA is on the bottom and I'm trading towards the 50 EMA, which is a counter trend move. I'm going against the overall trend. Okay, the reason, and I'll get rid of all of this analysis and I'll do it with you guys real quickly so you can understand why this trade may not be working out, and why the probabilities aren't stacked in its favor. If you're looking at this chart, it's overall, it's bullish, right? So if I was to zoom out here, price is moving from bottom left of the screen to the top right. As price starts to make higher highs, higher lows, okay, what I am simply looking for, and what I saw was looking at most recent data, I saw this level broken. So this support level broken, retested as resistance, and then broke. And as it came back up to that level, I was anticipating price to reject this level, looking left, and for a move down. That did not happen, which is completely fine because the overall trend is still in a bullish trend. So that was the key level, the key zone I was looking at. What has since happened is, and I think the TDI indicator is also way above the 50 value. So even the market sentiment on this L50 is telling me it's bullish. So that's two confluences already that are telling me I should not be shorting this, but I did anyway. And the reason I'm still holding GU is because there is another level of structure looking at the weekly chart. The weekly is in a massive downtrend, okay? So getting rid of that, what's happened on the weekly is obviously price has rallied higher, but if you're looking at these lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, if you're looking at that most recent lower high, which is in here, I'll just grab the wick. So looking at that price action just here from that wick where we saw this massive sell-off, price has since come back, tested that level. Where are we? Tested that level, rejected off it, came higher, massive pin on the weekly candle here, pushed lower, and then this is where I got involved, okay? So my stop loss technically should be a bit higher, and we're also rejecting the weekly 50 EMA. That's why I haven't closed this trade yet. there is a high probability that price is going to just shoot higher and tag me out, which is perfectly fine before finding some type of resistance and coming lower, or buyers can step in, push price higher, retest that level before changing this overall dynamics of this trend. So G is going to be an interesting one to focus on for the week and see what kind of plays out. But as of that, guys, that's everything. I've covered all the trades that we took last week. I've covered the reasoning behind each trade, the reasoning behind why we got involved in GBPNZD just now, oil as well. So what's happening with oil and why I think we could see a bit of a bearish move, but maybe this week we might actually see that kind of bearish trend end, or maybe see some buyers step in, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. And then same thing with all the other trades that we're in. We're just trailing the stop loss because we have a bullish bias on all the other trades. Bearish bias on the JPY quote pairs and the NZD pairs. And then bullish bias on Euro. So let's see what happens. I'll see all of you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have had a great weekend and have a great day wherever you are. We'll do some extra analysis tomorrow on US indices, so I gotta wait for these to open tonight for me. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you all being on. I hope you all have a great, like I said, great week, and I'm sure I'll see you throughout the week. And yeah, take care, guys.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't